City of Ottawa, much like Toronto and Vancouver, have now implemented a vacant unit tax meant to encourage landlords to rent their vacant properties. Now, you might be asking, is this even a problem in Ottawa? We're not really known as a city to buy and sit on vacant units. Well, there's 330,000 residential units in the city, and during the 2016 census, 20,000 of those properties were reported as vacant. And with continued low vacancy rates, as well as 77% of online survey respondents agreeing with the tax, the city is moving forward. Now you're asking, when's the last time 77% of people agreed on anything? And the only thing I could find was the movie Elvis. The city estimates that 0.5% of properties fall into this category, and as such, they stand to collect an extra $33 million in revenue. Now, once you net out the cost of running the program, they still look to be up $25 million over the next 5 years, or $5 million a year. Now, to put that in perspective, the city collected $2.1 billion in taxes in 2022, so this is like a 0.002% drop in the bucket, but the funds are being used to support affordable housing initiatives in the city. More importantly, they're hoping that this will be enough of a push for some landlords to list their vacant units. Now, a secondary goal may be to put some downward pressure on the rental market. This is more likely to happen in the suburbs, where an increased stock in rental housing is starting to sit vacant. For example, in Barrhaven right now, there's 157 rental properties listed active on Realtor.ca. And as some of those properties get closer to the cutoff date, landlords may be incentivized to reduce their asking rent or to get more lenient on things like credit scores or pets, grow-ops. So what does this mean for you? First of all, the tax does not apply to your principal residence, but you do still have to fill out the declaration. The tax also only applies to properties in the residential tax class between 1 and 6 units. And if you own more than one property, you have to fill out a declaration for each individual property. You have until March 16th to complete your declaration, with a late filing deadline of April 30th, which comes along with a $250 convenience charge. Now, this is important. Failure to declare will result in the tax being applied to your final tax bill in June. There is a dispute process, but you already know you don't want to go down that route, so try and get on this as soon as possible. Oh, and providing false information could result in a $10,000 fine. Now, the property tax is calculated at 1% of your impact value, so a $600,000 home would pay an additional $6,000 in vacant unit tax. If there's one thing realtors are good at, is calculating percentages. Now, in your mail, you should have received this lovely package, which will contain your roll number and your access code. Take that with you to ottawa.ca/VUT and complete your declaration ASAP. Now, to be deemed occupied, the property must have been occupied at least 184 days in 2022, and that includes a minimum of 30-day increments if you're doing short-term rentals. There's several exemptions, including a property that's sold, an owner that's in long-term care or that's passed away, or a property that's undergoing significant renovations, among others. Hopefully you found that useful. Please feel free to forward this to anybody that might find it valuable, and we should do this again sometime. I'll have to do some realtoring.